The year is 1912. The world is on the brink of a new age, and humanity's ambition is soaring. From the shipyards of Belfast, a giant is ready to set sail, the RMS Titanic. She was not just a ship, she was a floating palace, a testament to industrial might, and a symbol of man's belief in his own invincibility. At over 882 feet long, the Titanic was the largest vessel ever built. Her nickname, the Unsinkable, wasn't just marketing, it was a deeply held conviction. Equipped with the most advanced safety features of the time, including 16 watertight compartments, she was declared virtually indestructible. No one could have imagined a flaw in this magnificent design. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic began her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York. On board were over 2,200 people, a snapshot of society. First class enjoyed unmatched luxury, gourmet meals, Turkish baths, and the legendary Grand Staircase. They were the elite, the millionaires, and the dreamers. Below deck, third-class passengers, often emigrants, also dreamt of a better life. Though their accommodations were modest, they were still far superior to other liners. The Titanic carried not just passengers, but a world of hopes, dreams, and aspirations. The first 4 days were tranquil. The ship of dreams sailed smoothly across the North Atlantic. But danger was lurking. Multiple iceberg warnings had been received by the ship's wireless operators, though not all were taken with the urgency they deserved. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, a lookout spotted a massive iceberg directly ahead. The alarm was sounded, and the first officer, William Murdoch, ordered a hard turn and a reverse of the engines. It was too little, too late. The ship scraped the massive chunk of ice. The impact felt by most passengers was minimal, a mere shudder. The damage, however, was catastrophic. The iceberg had created a series of gashes below the waterline, breaching 6 of her so-called watertight compartments. The chief designer, Thomas Andrews, confirmed the grim prognosis: the Titanic could stay afloat with only 4 compartments flooded. With 6, she was doomed. She had mere hours left. As water rapidly poured into the lower decks, the crew began the grim task of preparing the lifeboats. The reality of the situation was slow to sink in, both for the passengers and the crew. The Titanic carried only enough lifeboats for about half the people on board, a consequence of outdated maritime safety regulations. The order went out: women and children first. The initial launchings were chaotic, and tragically, many lifeboats were lowered only partially filled, with hundreds of seats left empty. Stories of heroism and sacrifice emerged. Isidore and Ida Strauss, the elderly couple who chose to stay together, the engineers who worked until the last possible moment to keep the lights on, and Captain Edward Smith, who went down with his ship, adhering to the noble but tragic code of the sea. As the bow sank, the stern rose high against the night sky. At 2:20 a.m., 2 hours and 40 minutes after the impact, the RMS Titanic gave a final, wrenching groan and plunged into the frigid depths of the Atlantic. The temperature of the water was nearly freezing. The magnificent ship was gone. The silence that followed was broken only by the desperate cries of those in the water. The ship's band, led by Wallace Hartley, had famously played until the very end, a final act of courage and calm amidst the terror. Only about 710 people survived. The Titanic disaster shocked the world and led to sweeping changes in maritime law, including mandatory lifeboat space for all on board